Now we're going to part 6, numbers. Right. Now this number system, these Christian historians and the historians of the Hindus and the Pandit, they don't seem to have the history intact at all. There's no constructive way of telling you when numbers started. But everybody invented numbers except the Hindus. I can't understand that. If you want to read any book, and the only number system is in the book, I explained that before. I'm going to explain now the 0 here. Now, everybody is puzzled with time for origin of numbers. I will analyze Bible and Ramayan. Bible and Ramayan present numbers at 13,500 BC. Now, you focus on this thing there. There's where it is 13,500 BC. Right? Now, I'm going to give the examples from the Ramayan now. Ramayan 3 gunas. Nobody seems to have any knowledge what these 3 gunas are. Right? I hear Pandits making this statement. I don't know what they really mean. But if you go to the Ramayan, you get in the exact meaning. Now, page 467, verse 3. Verse describes 3 gunas as sattva, rajas, and tamas. So these 3 gunas, and what are these 3 gunas? Now, page 470, verse 1 states 3 gunas. Now, what are these 3 gunas? They mention it there, but what is it? Now, we have from the Bhagavad Gita, 13:19, Prakti creator of 3 gunas. 13:20, Prakti presented 3 gunas. 13:21, 3 gunas were created. Were creation of 3 zeros. 3 zeros here. Right? 1840, Prakti is creator of 3 gunas. Now, who is Prakti now? We find out now that the gunas are 0 from Bhagavad Gita. But who is Prakti now? So, we still with the Bhagavad Gita here. And they made mention of 0. They didn't mention 0. They mentioned naught as the first number. Right? You go to 17.1. Calculation using numbers are divided into 3 parts. These are 3 formulas. Sattva, rajas, and tamas. In 17.2, using 3 formulas to compute are sattvika, rajasika, and tamasika. This is the verse telling you that. Now, sattva formula, 0 to 7. Let's see how it works from the Bhagavad Gita. Now, you're going from 0 to 7 in sattva, the sattva formula, right? This is 0 here. Counting from 0 to 7 is 8 numbers. You have 8 numbers there. And as sattva, the act of performing sattva is called sattvika. Sattva presents starting point as 0. Origin of 0 was at 13,500 BCE. Now we move into Rajas formula. Because there's 3 formulas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Now 17.9, counting in Rajas formula is using ordinal numbers. This is ordinal numbers. This is counting in division now. You're counting 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, etc. From 0 to 7 is 8 divisions. Right? If you check the 0 to 7 here, you're getting 8 divisions. Right? Counting 8 divisions from Rajas formula is doing Rajasika. 1710, counting in Tamas formula, we have it, Tamas formula, is counting of 0 starting at number 1. So instead of starting at number 0, in Tamas formula, they calculating, they're starting at 1. 1 to 8 are 8 numerals. This act is counting is called Tamasika. These 3 ways of counting numbers are called the 3 gunas. Right? Now, Bhagavad Gita 17:20 states that a number for nothing is naught. That is 0. A starting point without a number is termed or identified with number naught. They refer to it as asat. This is 0. Right? As a summary of it is they have Om, Tat, Sat, and Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. These 2 groups are identified as 3 gunas. Right? Three gunas are origin of numbers and present three ways to identify zero. One, sattva gunas, numbers begin with zero. Sattva, numbers begin with zero. Not asat. So that you're performing sattvika there. Two, rajas gunas. Days, hours, years are divided into divisions. Each division begins with 0 naught. Each division. So whichever one you use is 0 to, you're making a division, as I have it in the plan there. In tamas gunas, numerals begin with 1. 0 is presented as number 1. So they present the number 1 as 0. So you starting as number 1. So three gunas are origin of 0. Now, I'll present the creation from Bible, the numbers. Same chart number 46. Let's look at chapter 1 of Bible on creation. God made heaven and earth in 7 days. So I present the 7 days here. That's the 7 days. Right? In sattva gunas, it is 0 to 7 days, meaning 8 days. Right? Counting started at 0. In rajas gunas, 7 days are 7 divisions. And it's counted in ordinal numbers. It is 7 divisions of 2,000 years each to equal 14,000 years. Now if you have to reach 14,000 years, and God made the earth in 7 days, means that you have to reach 14,000 years in the 7 divisions. Now what has happened here? On the 7th day, 7 division, God completed his work and rested. And he made it a holy day. Now you said he made it a holy day. What is the it? You must include it, 8 division, to complete the 14,000 years. Now this is a practice the Hindus have been doing with what they call the intercalary, where they inject months or years to bring everything back together. Otherwise, if you leave it the same way and it continues, everything will go astray, right? The simple example would be month of February, where they add 1 day every 4 years. So they call that the intercalary. So God made 8 division holy. So in order to get to the 14,000 years, you must add this. This is the same practice with the intercalary. Now, God made it 8 division holy. Holy day, Sabbath day is Sunday now. So what people that talk about Sabbath is on Saturday, they must come to refute this claim that the Sabbath is on Saturday. I don't know how they started that counting. All right. In Tamas formula, number 0 of Sattva is identified as number 1. Now in Tamas formula, number 0, in other words, you put a numeral for 0. This now it come like you're constructing a building there and you're already separated, but you must add 1 to get the correct. So instead of saying 0, you started with 1. So you check one column, so you will get 8. If you have 7, there are 7 divisions. All right. Number 0 to 7 becomes 8 numbers. That's it. This research proves that Hindus constructed all numbers from 13,500 BC, and that includes 0.